The Archdiocese of Chicago is a vibrant and diverse faith community. We celebrate our faith through worship, evangelization, and reaching out to the needy. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Welcome to Diakonia, a call to service. Diakonia is the Greek word for service and the root word for diaconate, deacon. I'm Deacon James Norman, Vicar for Deacons with the Archdiocese of Chicago, blessed to serve at Our Lady of Sorrows Basilica on the west side of Chicago. With me, as always, Deacon Dave Brinsick is the Associate Director of the Permanent Diaconate, and he serves at Holy Guardian Angels Parish in Brookfield and LaGrange. Dave, how are you?
Very well, Jim. How are things?
I'm well. And with us today, we're delighted to have Deacon Alfred Coleman. So this is a show by deacons, and we've got 3 deacons today, but this is a show that is about service. All of our call to service as baptized Catholics in the faith. Welcome, Deacon Alfred. How are you?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. We want to learn more about you, Deacon, and the Zacchaeus house, and that's the focus for our show today. I'll let Dave begin.
Welcome, Alfred.
Thank you. How you doing?
Very well. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm what the church refers to as a convert. I became Catholic in my early 20s. From going to a Newman Center at SIU Carbondale, I received the invitation to go to Mass when I was in basic training in the Army. And when I kind of told myself, when I get a chance, I'm going to look into the Catholic faith. And then I got involved with the Newman Center, became Catholic, and came a night to Columbus and got involved with the church. Then when I came back home to Chicago, joined local parish, St. Basil Visitation Parish on the south side of Chicago. That's the church where I met my wife, Avis. We've been married over 30 years, and that's where we had our children baptized, and they served in the church, and also where I started discerning the diaconate. So I was ordained in class of 2003. My wife and I, we have 3 kids and 7 grandkids.
Wonderful.
And Deacon, your current parish, are you still at Basil Visitation?
No, I'm at St. James on Wabash. 29th and Wabash on the south side.
And what are some of the ministries you're involved with, Alfred?
Well, once a month I preach the first Sunday of the month. I do baptism prep, marriage prep. I'm also the benediction committee chair, and also I attend the parish council meeting. So just a little bit of everything at the parish, just trying to serve there as a deacon. I serve in 3 masses out of the month, and just one Sunday, me and my wife, where we just go visiting other churches, and we have Sunday breakfast together somewhere. Just have one Sunday a month off.
Good. So you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
And you also have an important ministry outside the parish as director of Zacchaeus House. If you could tell us a little bit about that.
Well, Zacchaeus House was started in 2002 by Bishop Joseph Perry and a group of deacons, and trying to reach out to homeless men in the city of Chicago. The opportunity to get a small convent on the south side of Chicago and open up a place where men can come for a second chance of life. It's called a place of mercy and grace. Each man gets their own room, and also work with me with developing their goals and directions where they need to go, and see what support they need and how we can encourage them to move forward, or just trying to get a fresh start on life. They come to the house for many different reasons. Some may have drug issues, alcohol issues, some type of addiction, or may have spent some time in jail, or maybe just been downsized. We have guys come to us who have health issues, just need a place to regroup and get used to their new bodies, And some guys who just need to be retrained. Some different reasons. They get referred to us to our family members, local pastors, who know someone who's just in their parish needs some help, or if someone's been knocking on their door for many years and needs some type of assistance, and they refer them to Zacchaeus House. They can stay here for up to 2 years and try and get their life together. Sometimes that moves very fast, depends on where they're at. Sometimes they just need a little bit more support. Like one of our guys who's just about to graduate college, so we let him stay a little bit longer to get his life together and to graduate, so we don't have to worry about, trying to graduate and find housing. So we just let him stay a little bit longer. So we're adjustable with things that need to be done here. The guys in the house also are assigned a deacon mentor. It's a positive male role model, can speak into their life and just talk about life issues and also encourage them to do well. We have the guys that's trying to get their life together. We also want them to look at what they're going to be like when it's time to move out. So they just don't be go from homelessness to having a shelter, but just also have a life. Either join a church or some group, or just develop a lifestyle where if they're missing someone, to go look for them. Mm-hmm. So we try and get them to stay involved with themselves, their city, their family, any bridges that they may have destroyed, or just any relationships that were wounded. Give them chances to rebuild and get their life back together. So there's a lot of sit down and talking and listening, a lot of prayer.
Mm-hmm. Deacon, what's the capacity there at Zacchaeus House?
We have 9 rooms. Right now we have 7 men here.
And since its start, how many men have come through the Zacchaeus House?
And around 92.
92.
Many different time points. Some guys came in only needed 6 months. Some people need maybe 3 years. But we try and keep it to 2 years. But with the lack of affordable housing, it's kind of hard for guys to find a place to go when it's time for them to go.
Sure. That raises a question, Deacon. Is there any charge for me if I wanted to stay at the Zacchaeus House and were eligible?
No charge whatsoever. The house is set for them to get their life together, where they either learn how to budget or set up budgets, because when it's time for them to move out, many times they have to pay first and last month's rent, and they have to be able to buy their own groceries and deal with just life issues. That's why here they prepare their own food. We have some meals that are brought in, but we have a couple of parishes who have a soup kitchen, and we pick up food from them. But other than that, the guys have to learn to cook for themselves. So when they move out, they'll be the one providing their meals. So they can learn here if they don't know how to cook. They can learn here if they don't know how to budget.
Do you provide any kind of classes at Zacchaeus House, or is there the training outside of Zacchaeus House?
All the men come here from different reasons. Some may have a college degree, some have multiple college degrees, some have never finished high school. So there isn't any set group meetings. They're individual meetings, because what caused their life to go astray was personal issues, personal goals, or lack of support system. So the only thing they have in common is that they're homeless. So there's no group meetings for that, just pretty much trying to deal with their life issues. So it's a one-on-one meeting. Like when they meet with me, it's one-on-one. When they meet with the deacon mentor, it's one-on-one.
In those meetings, yourself, deacon mentor, let's start there. Do I meet with my deacon mentor monthly?
Yes, the goal is for them to meet monthly, unless there's some problems that comes up with the scheduling.
And I was going to ask Deacon, we introduced you as director for the Zacchaeus House. You mentioned a number of activities and interactions that are happening with the men. Who's doing that work? So the finding additional resources, teaching to budget, teaching how to maybe engage with family members over ruptured relationships?
The bulk of it is done by me. If there like any specialty things, like if a person needs to be retrained and need computer skills, we send them to another place to get that done. But as for open up or dialogue about family issues or maintaining their health issues. You know, they sit down with me and we talk about it. Many of the times it's the guy's just not aware of it. Sometimes people just trying to, well, let's put it this way, they're on survival mode. They just pretty much responding to life. And what I pretty much do is talk to them about the reality of where they're at. Sometimes they don't really see how that their life is really in a major problem. They just don't know they have some issues to deal with. So when we talk, the light bulb comes on for them. Sometimes they realize, hey, this is a situation they need to take this seriously and really look at this instead of just responding to life problems. They need to be more aggressive with it and take it on, be more proactive. And also what an opportunity gives me, an opportunity to teach them some life skills, how to troubleshoot their life, how to look at where they're at and where they want to go, and how they can get to where they will need to go to. But sometimes a person will just need to do a better job being a better employee or finding a job with benefits. Or sometimes they just need to learn to be quiet and let the person who's boss be the boss. And so just pretty much talking over personal issues, how to learn to be quiet when it's time to be quiet, how to let their supervisor be supervisor, even if they're younger than you. You know, because sometimes when a person in their either 40s or 50s and their boss in their late 20s, sometimes it's hard for them to take constructive criticism from someone who's younger than them, or be told what to do by someone younger than them. So many times it's just pretty much personality issues we talk about, anger issues we talk about. You know, so pretty much a lot of things we discuss are personal. So that's why there's really no set up group meetings, because someone just pretty much need to learn to find a better job. Somebody just need to know how to watch their mouth and watch their temper. So you have to realize that here at the house, we have either up to 9 men here who are all raised differently. And life structures and family structures are different. So just learning to share space with someone else gives us a reason to talk about how to live in community, how to share a bathroom, how to share a common kitchen. We have 2 TV rooms, how to share the TV rooms. You know, and that leads to how to build communication with others, how to be in a relationship with friends, family, co-workers. You know, it's just pretty much for some of them just starting over, to learning basic skills, or just learning to be aware of who they are and how they handle themselves when they interact with others. That's why prayer is very important, because when they come here, they're vulnerable. They've pretty much lost everything. Lost their support groups, lost their security of shelter, lost their ability to be to have control over when they eat and how they eat. So just so like when they first come here, you usually get some downtime. We just talk and say hello. They get used to being indoors and let them know they're safe here. You know, let them know when they go in their room, they close the door, that's their private space. You know, so just a lot of things, pretty much basic healing of human dignity. And then they start asking themselves questions, how did I get here? And then we start going to dialogue about how we get you out of here. And also I'll constantly remind them that this is the place you go through, not to. This isn't the objective to stay here. You know, so what we're doing here is preparing you to move forward.
Deacon, I was going to ask. Go ahead, Deacon.
Also, sometimes it puts me in a hard position, you know, once the guy feels comfortable and happy and safe, I need to find the words to say, time to consider moving on, you know. You know, you advance to the point where you can take care of this yourself. You know, that's how we end up developing what we call the alumni group, with guys who moved on, moved out. You know, we go visit them at their place or a coffee shop near their place. You know, instead of having them come to me in my office, we go to them where they're at. Respect their space.
Deacon, we'll take a break here if we can. We'll take a quick break and we'll come back and tell us more about the alumni group and how you continually outreach to the men, maybe that are beginning to transition away from Zacchaeus' house.
Okay. Thank you.
To be the first, you must I feel special. I feel great. I got good grades.
We've seen a huge surge in our kids now meeting or exceeding grade level. Come check us out. You may have never thought we were an option before.
Our school communities provide students with academic excellence and character education in a supportive and stable learning environment. Come see for yourself. Visit archchicago.org/findaschool.
Catholic Charities' Loss program was created more than 40 years ago to help survivors of suicide wherever they are in the grieving process. This nationally recognized program continues to offer a safe, non-judgmental environment where survivors of suicide can find community, direction, and resources for healing after suffering the devastating loss of a loved one. Online and in-person services are available for individuals, couples, children, and families of all faith traditions. To learn more, call 312-655-7283 or email loss@catholiccharities.net. Don't suffer alone. We are here to offer loving outreach to survivors of suicide. Contact Catholic Charities today.
I am a seminarian.
The church needs compassionate and well-trained priests to help guide each of us through life.
What inspires me, what draws me always to the priesthood is continue to see priests be a beacon of hope for other people.
You can play a part in the education of these young men as they prepare for a life of service to others.
I want to be that beacon of hope too, and it sets my heart on fire.
To support our seminarians, make your gift at archchicago.org/seminarian fund or call 312-534-7959.
Are you willing? Can you be baptized like I have been baptized? Are you able? Are you able? For I have come not to be served, but to serve.
Welcome back to Diakonia, a call to service. I'm Deacon Jim Norman, Vicar for Deacons with the Archdiocese of Chicago, and with me, Deacon Dave Brinsick, Associate Director for the Office of the Permanent Diaconate. Our guest today is Deacon Alfred Coleman. He was just speaking about his role as Director for the Zacchaeus House and speaking to us about outreach and using alumni in the program. So please, Deacon, how are you engaging with those after they initially have come through the Zacchaeus House and are beginning to establish themselves outside of the Zacchaeus House?
We've always functioned as though once you come to Zacchaeus House, you're always a member of Zacchaeus House, where our resources are your resources. Sometimes they get out there and they may fall short for rent or just groceries and they need some type of support. But the biggest contact is actually around the holiday time, especially Christmas. A lot of our supporters give donations and Christmas gifts to the guys in the house, and then we extend it out to the guys who are outside the house, where they're still able to get Christmas gifts and some type of Christmas card or gift card during Christmas time. And I was talking to a couple of guys regarding, I used to call it the follow-up program, more like a holistic ministry, deal with them, when they're in the house and when they move out of the house. Try and support and encourage them and just to remain in their corner to get more stable. Let them pull away instead of us pulling away. They feel more secure. They have less contact. And when I was talking to a couple of guys, and one of the guys said, "No, we're alumni of Zacchaeus House." They came up with the term, and they like the phrase that they're alumni of Zacchaeus House. But when a guy moves out of the house, normally what's done, in each room there's a crucifix. And we used to go to the house or the apartment where they're moving into and give them their own new crucifix and bless their place. And just talked about, basic how to be a tenant and what's in the community and things like that. Things we had talked about before they moved out when they started looking for a place to live. And start visiting them, and they start calling in and give us with updates, how they're doing and what's going on in their lives. And eventually start calling in, do Zacchaeus House need anything from them? So now and then someone would donate financial donation. It's usually a small amount, but it's just them trying to reach back. And also when we have like an event or something, that one or two will be there to share their story or just be there for support. And also now and then I run into guys in different situations, church events. They're members of different parishes, and I run into them at their parish, and they just give a little light update. And sometimes I've met their relatives at the local parishes, their friends and family. So it's going well. It's very an opportunity to support and encourage a person who just needed a lot of support and encouragement. Because when you come homeless, society usually, for one, don't usually look you in the eyes or say your name or speak to you by name because they don't know you. See you as a homeless person. But what we try and do is reestablish their humanity within themselves, self-confidence, and the ability to see themselves as part of the community. So when they come on, they move out, we still stay in touch, encouraging them and supporting them.
So Alfred, so this Zacchaeus House is really open to anybody. You don't have to be Catholic to stay at Zacchaeus House. Is that correct?
No, you're not. Just be a homeless male, legal age.
Yeah. Okay. Now you mentioned that you have mentors for the men. Are these all deacons, or do you have a variety of people coming to be mentors?
Our goal is all Catholic deacons. Now, we consider the Zacchaeus House a ministry for Catholic deacons, and so our board is made up of Catholic deacons. Our advisors, our support groups, like if we need some type of, like a room paint, like Deacon Dan, you've been here, you painted a room, you painted here before.
Yep.
Any support that we need, we reach out to the diaconate community. Any advice, I find someone in the diaconate community who has that insight and wisdom, and call and ask for help.
Yeah.
It probably is a great point, and we've got just a little over 5 minutes remaining. Deacon, if you could share, where are the opportunities that parishioners have to support Zacchaeus House? Even deacons, how can we continue to support your efforts at Zacchaeus House?
We are a faith-based ministry. Prayer is always needed, because you realize when people come here, the guys come here, they're broken and very vulnerable and need to talk about life issues straight to face to face, and they need to be covered with prayer. So praying for the men at Zacchaeus House and the alumni and the poor is very important. And the second thing is where we need is financial support, because just like people have their house with the utility bill, gas bill, phone bill, we have the same situation here, but we have keep utilities for 9 people, so, and to handle these bills, we need a lot of financial support. What a blessing, a lot of times we get blessed by a lot of the local parishes who give us gift cards, because we don't have enough room to store the physical laundry soap and dishwashing soap that's needed, and razors and shaving cream. So they send it in the form of gift cards so we go pick it up when we need it. And also we always need deacons for deacon mentors. And also any parishes who can do a collection for us, that'd be great. Financial support is definitely needed here, where we can just handle our bills, the day-to-day bills, the light, gas, especially in the wintertime, just keeping the place warm enough because the building's 24/7. Those guys work at any shift they can get. They go to school whenever they can. So we don't shut down during the day. With some people just getting in from work or they work third shift, or heading out to work because they work first shift. So the lights are on a lot. And also they need to eat. Some food pantries donate food to us. So we get a lot of support, but prayer is definitely needed, and financial support is definitely needed. And also, when it comes to the diaconate community, I always tell people that no matter what goes on here, there's a deacon in our diocese has that gift that can deal with it. Yeah. The diaconate community is so diverse in personalities, characters, and life experiences that there's someone in this diocese who can address and solve the problem.
So it sounds like there's a real way for all of us to get engaged, whether diaconate community or not. A parishioner could donate to the Zacchaeus House. Can I donate by sending a check, or can I donate online to Zacchaeus House?
Both will be fine. Checks, and also you can go online, Zacchaeus House, and send your donations that way. And also, what really makes a bigger footprint is like if a parish remembers Zacchaeus House in their prayers of the faithful, and try and do some collection, or where the parish hears about the needs of the poor and they see where the support is going. So not only does it address a need for working with those who need support, but it also educates the body of the church about reaching out to the poor, and they can learn firsthand where things are going.
Yeah. It's a concrete need.
Yeah. And we build a relationship with them, they build a relationship with us, and the body of Christ is just being the body of Christ and sharing his gifts with those in need.
Alfred, do you have a website that people can visit?
Yes, we do. It's connected with the Archdiocese of Chicago. ZacchaeusHouse.org.
Okay, good.
All right. Alfred, thank you for all you're doing to support the men coming through the Zacchaeus House. Thank you for what you're doing to bring the diaconate community and the faithful of the Archdiocese of Chicago together to support these men who are trying to reestablish themselves, after a hardship or difficulty or a challenge. We appreciate all that work, the counseling that you're doing. We hope our listeners will do everything they can to support you. We continue to send our prayers to you and to the men for strength, understanding, wisdom, guidance as they move forward. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Diakonia, a call to service, being with Deacon Dave Brinsick and I, and today Deacon Alfred Coleman. Please pray for the men at the Zacchaeus House and support their efforts in any way that you can. God bless.
God bless.
No, thank you.
For to sit at my right hand or at my left is not for me to give, but for those for whom it has been prepared.